gentlemen, this is Democracy Manifest.
That's right. Yeah. You're a grub. You're a dirty, rotten little grub.
There'd be 1,000 blossoms bloom as far as I'm concerned. But I ain't spending any time, mate.
Yeah. How's that sounding out there for everyone? Sound good?
Beautiful.
Awesome.
Thumbs. Lots of thumbs.
I didn't even hit record, but anyway, that will do. Anyway, welcome guys. This is our first live podcast ever. We have had the honour of the Tonsorama getting on board with us. Thanks to Nadia, who introduced us to Tom from Workspace, wherever you are over there, who introduced us to the Tonsorama, making this all happen. Tom is the hardest person to get hold of in the country. He's in China, interstate, whatever.
Japan.
Yeah. But it has been a hell of a day setting this up, and couldn't thank anyone else, really.
Nah, there's a lot behind the scenes here. I would say probably, she can't be here tonight, but Erin Thompson, I would say.
Yep.
Has been the catalyst for this, episode 7.
Yeah.
Went straight, let's get Pete on. All right, let's get Pete, no worries. Bit of a jump there. And then from there we were introduced to Tom at the Velo.
Yes.
500. Then introduced to Nadia, and
here we are.
Now we're at the Tonsorama.
Yeah.
So just a quick one for everyone here, 27th of July, quiz night. Sold out.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Pretty cool. And that's all going to our good friends at TX, which is This Is a Conversation Starter, which funding for mental health support, free counselling via phone and text from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. Daily, which is fantastic. Mainly for blue-collar, mining, farmers, rural workers, that sort of thing, but it's open to anyone, which is fantastic. But our first guest tonight is Nadia Clancy from the Labor Party, member for Elder and the Premier's advocate for suicide prevention. Welcome.
Good evening, Nadia.
Good evening, gentlemen. Thank you for having me. Oh, thanks, team.
We've got the fan club here. But our first question for you is, who is Nadia, and outside of politics, like?
She is tired.
Tired?
I am pretty much the same person as I am in politics.
Yeah.
You know, because politics is about my values and what I care about and our community. I guess the one thing I would say is the difference when can no one hear me? How devastating.
There we go. Is that better?
Is it better? Can you hear me now?
Do you want Nadia up?
Do you want me to start just from the whole beginning? No. I guess the thing is the clear divide from when I'm Nadia Clancy member for Elder and Nadia Clancy bit more cash is as soon as I get in my front door, I get my track pants on, I get the bra off, I just get as comfortable as possible, get makeup off, hair in a ponytail, and get myself a cup of tea.
That's standard.
Yeah.
Standard night, eh?
I think because I spend so much of my time during the day, which I love, connecting with people and advocating for them and giving a lot of energy, it can just mean that sometimes by the time I get home at the end of a long day, I'm a little bit depleted of energy. So it's a good time for me to take a moment. It's not quite as good if I come home and then my family are there and excited to see me and spend some time together. I've got to keep the energy coming, and it's so good to see them. And then once my little girl is asleep, then I need to take some downtime with a cup of tea on the couch and cuddles with my dog.
So after you completed your education at Flinders Uni...
University of South Australia.
University of South Australia.
Oh,
well,
Jesse,
my research has gone to God here.
Don't believe everything you read on the internet.
No, Wikipedia, and your actually not Wikipedia. Sorry, your website. Might need a bit of
somebody's going to get a talking to in the morning in the office.
Yeah. Maybe that was like a double-edged sword. I don't know. So, run us through that.
I was born at Flinders Hospital,
that's
though.
Nice.
So that's a nice little Flinders connection.
Okay, well there you go.
I think all three of us are.
Yeah, no, back in the van. No. So after that, Fred Hollows Foundation and Headspace?
Yeah, so I worked for the Minister for Mental Health back in 2012, 2013, And a lot of that work was engaging with Headspace National Office and Headspace Centres. We were opening at Heat, which was incredible all across the country. And after the 2013 election, I took a bit of time off. I had a holiday, and then there was a job going at Headspace, and it just seemed like a really natural fit because I was really engaged with them through my work previously and loved the work that they were doing in communities.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Headspace is awesome.
Yeah, my work does a lot of donations through there down at Christie's Beach.
Oh, excellent.
So,
Thank you.
Yeah, I dress up as the Easter Bunny every year and freak them out. So I just go down there with a big old party of eggs, and so something I do in my spare time. You know, you put your hair down and I dress up as the Easter Bunny.
I think Stu.
We've all got our
I think
things.
Stu out here might have a question about that Easter Bunny outfit. It's looking a bit crusty.
Yeah, questionable characters in the audience. Nadia, your role as the Premier's advocate for suicide prevention, what does that entail in terms of the difference between, say, you know, a standard politician and your...
Above standard? Yeah, thanks.
So a standard and then you go one above. What does that go to? Where do you lead yourself?
So the role of the Premier's Advocate for Suicide Prevention is one to sort of provide support to the Premier and the Minister for Health. So take a lot of those meetings in regards to mental health and suicide prevention, do a lot of the research, attend a lot of the events and pull a lot of information together so that then I can advocate to the Premier and to the Minister for Health on how we can do this area better. Another thing I do as part of that role is I'm also chair of the Suicide Prevention Council. So the Suicide Prevention Council was established a couple of years ago. It's legislated, so it actually has, it's not like any other committee, it's a cool committee. It's actually has to report back to Parliament and report back to the Minister. It actually has legislative obligations. And so being part of that council is incredible. There's all different types of people on it. There's lots of people with lived experience from community organisations, clinicians, representatives from LGBTIQA+ community, regional communities, Aboriginal communities. So a lot of those communities that we know are particularly affected by suicide. And like one person on it is Nicola Spurrier, which is the weirdest thing because she's wonderful. But I, before coming into politics, worked at a domestic violence organisation, and one of my jobs during COVID was to quickly type down everything that was being said in the press conferences. And so it went from me sitting at these things, sitting on my couch, furiously typing every word Nicola says, and now I have these meetings where she like puts her hand up, and I say, "Yes, Professor, like Nicola, it's your turn to speak." It's this real weird role reversal.
Yeah, turn of events.
You should see my notes after a meeting. It's like 2 words every dot point. I was like, I'll get to it.
The date and your name.
Yeah.
And then you just throw it in the bin.
I'm sure your mind's like a trap. It's all in there.
Work-life balance. What's your coping mechanisms? Because obviously your job is so busy and so full on. What do you do to sort of relax and calm down?
I walk my dog a lot.
Yep. What type of dog do you have?
I have a standard poodle, very fancy.
Yep.
Her name's Pepsi, so don't tell her that I'm drinking a Coke. And I do Pilates and yoga, and I go to another dog. I try to keep really active because I find that that's really, really good for me, and I do that first thing in the morning. And in the evenings, like I said, I really just like a cup of tea, and I find it difficult to wind down and calm my mind. So sometimes if I get home late after an event, I can't go straight to bed, even though I know that I'm getting up at 5:15 to walk the dog and then go to the gym. I need to watch something really, really trashy and awful. Which is what I do.
What's your go-to?
Hopefully Tom's not listening because I think he'll be appalled. The Kardashians.
That's fine. That's all good.
Oh,
Where is Tom?
I'm mortified.
Tom's right next to you,
this is a
mate.
really safe space, right? Like, it's okay for me to...
That's fine.
Yeah,
It's
no,
a
I mean,
safe
I'm
space.
feeling very judged, but that's okay. It's fine.
Kardashians.
You feel
Just try to
judged.
cut it out later. I'll say something
it's our
else.
podcast.
What's okay? Bridgerton's also not okay for me to say. But you know what my favourite show ever, other than Buffy, is Schitt's Creek.
Oh, Schitt's
I
Creek.
love
That's
Schitt's
good.
Creek so much. It's my happy show.
Schitt's Creek, The Office,
Yeah.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine. They're
Oh,
all...
Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I love Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
We just started that again.
Every time I donate blood, I watch Schitt's Creek on my phone as my calming mechanism.
Ooh, David.
What's the quote we say every time we see each other? It's a night shirt, David. It's a night shirt. So our quotes, some are R-rated, some are G-rated. That one, it's good. Good value.
I can't believe I forgot to push record at the start of this thing.
It's fine.
Well, we got it on the laptop, so
that's all right. Yeah.
Anyway.
Everyone's going to get to hear about how regular you've been today, which is excellent news.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic. It's quality. It's quality. It's a nervousness.
How's working with Peter?
It's the best.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, he's really good value, and he's very measured
Yeah.
and calm. And I really, really appreciate that in a colleague, you know?
That wasn't on the question, but I just chucked it in.
No, it's good fun. He's a good time.
He is good. He is.
Port Adelaide fan.
Yeah.
Can't go wrong.
No one can be perfect.
Do you follow football?
Christ.
Do you
Oh
follow,
my God.
Do you follow football?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
I'm a Crows supporter. Hey, there we go. Thank you very much.
Shit house.
Yeah.
I can leave.
How you going this season?
Not that
better than
great.
you guys.
Yeah.
Not as good as Carlton though.
Questionable.
So. Yeah. Anyway.
So Nadia, what made you jump on and support us and come on tonight and give us a crack?
Well, my colleague and friend Erin Thompson is a big fan of yours, and as was previously said, she introduced me to you guys at Velo 500. Then we connected you guys with Tom from Workspace, who are doing some gorgeous furniture for my new office, which opens in a few weeks. Thank you very much.
Tom, where's ours?
Yeah, speed it up. I'm moving in 4 weeks. And I just think you guys are lovely and doing good stuff. And I think what we think is really important as a government is that suicide prevention and improving mental well-being is actually everyone's responsibility.
Yeah,
We all need to be having
absolutely.
conversations. It's not just government. It's not just workplaces. It's not, local. It's everyone
Yeah.
in all areas.
That's why Jesse and I started doing this podcast. Obviously, Jesse's had a pretty rough few years losing his partner in a freak accident at their house, and then with me getting stage 3 bowel cancer, we weren't talking enough, and I still don't think we talk enough, but it was a way for us to sort of just break out of our comfort zone and let the world know what's going on in our heads. And to the 150 people that listen weekly, thank you.
Just knowing that you can go through some shit, because everyone in this room, regardless if they're listening to us or not and they're having a beer or whatever, they've gone through shit. Gone through, will go through in the future at some point. And it's okay to talk about it.
Yeah.
And Kale, along with my partner, Olivia, are probably two of the people that I cry in front of the most. And I speak probably quite openly about it, and the fact that I feel quite vulnerable and I'm myself in front of you, which, for a 30-year-old male to say in the 80s and 90s wasn't common.
Yeah.
You were told to man up and, get on with it. Typical tradies, you work by yourself, you're isolated sort of thing.
Yeah.
We're not tradies, but I feel like the podcast has allowed us to have a very special connection with our friendship, and to know we've been friends for 27 years, and that we have ups and downs like everyone does. But
It'd be nice if you answered the phone call every now and then.
it would be. I'm much like Tom Clark, except I'm just in the same state as you.
Tom's getting roasted tonight.
He's a good man. He's a good man. Quality
I
chairs.
know, he comes here to support you guys, and then brutal.
But yeah, it's a very unique setting we get to have.
Yeah.
And we talk about not many people listen to us or not many people watch us or whatever. We have an off week on it, but does anyone else have a podcast in this room?
Probably.
You probably don't. You don't know.
Probably. You never know.
Does anyone else have Nadia, Clancy? No. So
It's my first podcast.
Anyway, the hard-hitting questions that we ask everyone.
all right. Now this is going to go one of two ways.
I've already shamed myself with television habits and my football team.
That's okay.
I'm fine. I can
okay.
do anything.
I feel like Peter's taken a little bit of our.
Peter made us viral with
Yeah, he
his.
did. 40,000 people watched us.
on Instagram. But
Wow.
Weet-Bix, hot or cold?
Yeah, come on.
Hot in winter, cold in summer.
Oh, thank God. 50%.
Just be hot all year round.
Oh, 50%. Oh, shit. Right. Normally we get cold and Cal goes, nah, fuck off.
Yeah, pretty
It
much.
actually completely changes the flavour when you heat it up.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
You just douse it with sugar anyway and it'll taste the same.
Put a bit of honey on
No,
there.
I don't put sugar on my Weet-Bix anymore.
Takes
at all.
all nutritional value out the window,
You're
basically.
missing out.
It actually just tastes good on its own now.
Yeah.
You just eat it dry.
And my daughter doesn't even, she's 7 now, she doesn't even know that people put sugar on their Weet-Bix. I'm terrified of when she finds this out.
Well, she eating cardboard. You got to put a bit of flavour
Just
in there.
doesn't know.
You got a bit
Milk's
of flavour.
got a little bit of sugar in it. Anyway, let's not fight.
Tim Tams.
This is Peter's question.
This is Peter's question that he's been asking everyone, so we're just
Come
going to
on.
steal it from him.
Yeah.
Tim Tams, fridge or cupboard?
I just don't think that's a question. Like, it is ridiculous.
Well,
We're
you
in
need to
South
take that
Australia.
to-
We're not in a high humidity area. It's not really hot. It should always be in the cupboard.
Next question time, you need to put that to Peter.
Question time.
Question for the Honourable Peter Malinauskas.
Yeah.
My question's to the Premier.
Yeah. Tim Tams.
It should be in the
He's
fridge.
a fridge, guys.
He
It's
is.
the fridge.
He is.
Question time. How do you find question time when you're in Parliament? Because we were there one day and it was full on. Like, it was full on. Coots and Tonus was
Coots and
copping it.
Tonus was very adamant about this section of road.
Yeah.
He's a very passionate
I've
man.
never been so like revved up, and I wanted to go out and just start bloody just getting like boxing on with some people about a road.
Yeah. Question time is really up and down. So
Yeah.
sometimes can be pretty. Oh, it's boring. I mean, democracy is wonderful. Democracy is never boring, obviously. Sometimes it's not as exciting as other times. But there are times where you just get really revved up. There are some people who get kicked out a fair bit. I've only been kicked out once, so I'm pretty well behaved.
Is it because you said you watched the bloody Kardashians? Come on, sort it out.
When we were there, Leon Bignell, he's like, I'm just going to walk out.
I'm just gonna
see you
get
later.
myself kicked
Nice
out.
to meet you guys. I'm just going to go.
Well, Leon Bignell is now the speaker, so he's not allowed to leave question time. Things have changed.
Ooh, Leon.
Maybe we have to go back. Watch him in action.
Yeah, can we get a little invitation from you?
I officially invite you to come to question
Beautiful.
time.
Yeah, that's on camera too.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Let's
As long
have
as
a
we
meal
get wine to
beforehand.
dine like Aaron did.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
maybe a couple of tickets to the Velo again. That was nice.
I've already given one of my tickets to Tom's wife.
Oh,
Anyway,
If you move to
Buggy
my
it.
electorate, though, I can rethink.
I can't do that.
it's all right. We're working on Aaron. It's good.
We're weighing it down.
And what's your favourite local area in your electorate? Like, what's your local favourite spot to
Oh my
dine,
gosh! I
have a
thought you were
drink?
asking me to choose a favourite suburb in my electorate. I'm
Oh,
like, I
yeah, you
can't
can do that too if you want.
Parents can't choose favourite babies. What was the call out? Oh, Candlelight Gardens,
Candlelight
absolutely.
Gardens. Yeah.
I love all my suburbs equally. Well, I'm a big fan of another Hurley pub in my electorate, the Marion in Mitchell Park. And I don't know if everybody has seen on their Instagram this week, but they have added cob loaf to their menu.
Cob
That's
loaf.
a game changer. I love cob loaf. So the Marion just got even better in my books. We do have a lot of great places. Another one I will point out, though, is Good Burger. It's on Goodwood Road. It's not far from here.
Yep.
And they're connected with Good Gilbert, and they do incredible burgers and they've got an incredible drinks menu. It's
Yep.
lovely. It's a really nice space.
That's good.
Yeah.
You have to try it out.
Let me know when you come to town.
Thank you. It's 10 minutes down the road.
We're only up the hill.
Where do you see the government putting mental health in the next few years? Where do you see like the funding, the upgrades, the networks?
Yeah.
Where do you see that going?
So we're putting in a lot of new mental health beds. So there's 72 new beds at going at QEH, Noarlunga and Modbury.
Yep.
And then also 10 extra beds will be at the new Women's and Children's Hospital. There's also more funding for community mental health teams and more community mental health beds. One thing that's really interesting in the mental health and suicide prevention space, though, at the moment is the valuing of lived experience. So there's this really big developing peer workforce.
Yep.
So there's a place called the Urgent Mental Health Care Centre on Grenfell Street. which is a really good alternative for people who are struggling to go there instead of an emergency department. And there's a mixture of clinical support and somebody with lived experience, so a peer support worker. And so I think that is probably the biggest change that I've been seeing in this space. So we're also supporting and funding, providing some funding to Lived Experience Leadership and Advocacy Network, LELAN, who I highly recommend you guys get on the podcast.
Sure.
Ellie Hodges from there, I mean, everyone there is great. And also, like, there's a safe haven that recently opened, well, actually it was more than a year ago now, but opened in Salisbury, which is purely peer support workers. So actually, and there's also the Head to Health centres that are being funded sort of in lots of different areas across the state. And again, there's a mixture of clinical and lived experience, some peer support. And so I think that's something really interesting going forward, is that we can see the value in people holding space for others and being able to say, like, I've been there, I know, I can understand what you're going through, and we can talk about it. And then in some circumstances also having that clinical option there too. Like, I think it's really, really interesting the way that workforce is changing. And and I'm really, really proud that we really value lived experience.
Yeah, that's awesome. Fantastic.
I think we're moving forward.
Yeah, we are. Definitely.
Definitely
Starting to break that
as a
stigma.
state. Yeah. So that's what we're trying to do every week. Just trying to break down our mates that have, starting small and working to bigger circles. Just, we're not here to solve the world. Mental health's never going to be truly beaten. It's just a way to not make it so prevalent, and we just want to get people talking. So, as we say, ask your mate for a feed.
Ask your mate for a beer, ask your mate for a Tonzarama palmy. Or
ask your mate for a Tom Clark chair.
Well, thanks, Nadia. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you, Nadia.
Thank you both very much for having me and for the work you guys are doing. I really, really appreciate it.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you for coming.
Awesome.
Thanks, guys. We're going to have a short break, grab a beer, grab some food if you want, and we'll be back with the big man at the back there, Dom Cassisi.
Woo woo!
Cheers, guys.